Yes, good morning, your state. It's good to know that you're there. So let's talk about some of the issues going on. Okay, this is the Avalanche, and it's a social cultural mental health program for you, and of course, to ensure that you are mentally stable and to ensure that you are doing great. You remember last week we were talking about some important matters as regards your good mental health, how to strengthen your health and maintaining your mental health. These were the things we discussed about, and I told you then that mental health is so much more than just the absence of mental illness. I told you it's a combination of our emotional, psychological, and social well-being, and it affects every aspect of our lives: how we think, how we feel, and how we act. It influences how we relate to other people, how we deal with the stresses in our lives, and whether we make healthy or unhealthy lifestyle choices. Those were the discussions we had last week. Okay, and I told you, I promised you that we're going to complete it today with another topic. To just add it up to say, yes, let's talk about stress management. How are you managing your stress? How are you managing things that are happening, the inflation rate in the country, the economic woes? Of course, we could see a lot of things happening. The power purchase to buy things is not there, and a whole lot is happening in our world. And of course, we could see some people cannot even afford a square meal, not to talk about 2 or 3 square meals. It's really challenging in Nigeria. So how are you managing your stress? Are you managing stress? Okay, so let's talk about stress management this morning. Well, my name is Samson Omotosho, and of course, the program is the Avalanche. I give you a warm welcome this morning. So welcome on the program. Let's talk about stress management. We'll be right back.
Ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ ni wá, bàbá ẹ dáríjì wá, ẹ máa ń wò tẹ̀sẹ̀ mọ́ wa lára. Bàbá, 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 mo wọlé, mo wọlé, mo wọlé fàdúrà. Youth of the nation, we need a vision and rededication, for we have a mission. Mọ́ra ẹni là ń pè tèmi, 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 tèmi dire. Say amen. Amen. Open your mouth and say amen. Amen. Say amen. Amen. Say amen. A ní láti gbàdúrà gidi. 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 Ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ ni wá, bàbá ẹ dáríjì wá o, ẹ máa wo tẹ̀sẹ̀ mọ́ wa lára. Bàbá, 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 mo wọlé, mo wọlé, mo wọlé fàdúrà. Little this nation, now we check time when you go away. Then no go put the leadership for your hand. Now you go take calm yourself. No be by force, now by sense. Now you go making Nigeria better. A nation with vision must plan for future. Youth, not the future. Youth of this nation, tie your shokoto well. To build this nation. Eba jẹ́ àpagbà kan kó fàdúrà ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Àgbà kí wá lọ́jà láàyè kó rí ọmọ tuntun wò. He needs no introduction. He has seen many tribulations. This is a voice of wisdom. Olóyè pàtàkì láwùjọ lẹ́ni tó bá ń bá prisoner of war. Ó yá, ẹ gbàdúrà fún wa. Pray for the youth. Olè.
Could you please stand in silence? You may or may not believe it, but it is true. God is with us here in this country, Nigeria. Yes. Ọlọ́run á wà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Nǹkan tó dáwọ́lé, ó máa ṣoríire ni. Ọ̀bá làbókè kókó làbókúta irọ́ ni wọ́n ń pa má dà kò sí nǹkan tó máa ṣe ẹ́. Ó ti rò. Wàá máa lọ síwájú ni. Mo ti gbóríyìn fáwọn tó yẹ kó gbóríyìn fún Ọlọ́run á máa gbóríyìn fún ẹ. May God in His infinite mercy and wisdom crown you with all the desires that you seek. May you be greater than we. May you be greater than we. May you be greater than we.
A ní láti gbàdúrà gidi. Ẹlẹ́ṣẹ̀ ni wá bàbá, dáríjì wá o, ẹ má wo tẹ̀sẹ̀ mọ́ wa lára. Bàbá. Mo wólẹ̀ gbàdúrà. A ní láti gbàdúrà gidi kankan.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet.
The Avalanche.
Even the other stations are tuned in too.
All right. Well, it's a need for us to pray for every one of us at a time. It's Ramadan period. It's Lent for the Christians, and for the Muslims, it is Ramadan time. It's a time for everyone to pray for the country, pray for the dear nation, because our nation is in dire need of our prayers. Okay, so let's talk about some of the salient matters. Okay, and one of them is stress management, and I want us to talk about it in a moment. Yes, what is stress management? What does it really mean? You know, it has different approaches, and you could look at it from learning skills such as problem solving, focusing on important tasks first, and managing your time, improving your ability to cope with difficult events that happen in life. For example, you may learn how to improve your emotional awareness and reactions. Okay, well, if you go on our Facebook right now, we're streaming live on Facebook at I-FLIER 103.3 FM live. Go on Facebook. There's a video that we are currently showing on our Facebook. Stress, the effect of it. We see the impact of stress. What stress does to human being. We could see some leaders slumping even at event places. We could see a lot of people who are under stress that led them to some uncertainties that you don't want to experience. And that's why the video is there for you to see, not just for us to talk, but for you to see the effect of it, the impact, all right, the impact of what we call stress. Go on our Facebook page right now. We are streaming live at I-FLIER 103.3 FM live. Go check out that video. That video is going to be streaming alongside the program that we're having at the moment, so you can check both of them at the same time. Okay, we decided to part the pages, the page into two, so that you can have access to both of them at the same time. All right. Okay, so well, I'm not alone in the studio today. Yes, I have an expert joining me, and of course we're going to be discussing expressly on stress, because stress has a lot of harm that it has caused and good. So we need to look at it critically and see how we can deal decisively with it. How can we manage stress? Stress management is what we are discussing about this very morning. And I have joining me on the program this morning is, of course, he's a psychiatrist. He's a psychologist, I beg your pardon. He's a psychologist, and of course, a clinical psychologist. Is also, when it comes to coaching, he coaches. He does a whole lot when it comes to, counseling people. Yes, Ola Awolowo joins the process. The program this very morning. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Samson.
Okay.
I'm glad to be. Good morning, sir.
Okay, all right. You might have to move a little bit away from where you are so we can get to hear you clearly. We're struggling to hear you, but then maybe you might have to move to a better place where the network will be fine.
Fine. Okay, so I don't. Can you hear me now, very well, sir?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, good.
Okay, so well, good morning to you once again, and we're discussing about stress management. How can we manage our stress? How can we manage stress? Now, as a counselor, you are a clinical counselor, a psychologist, so to say. How can you advise? What is even stress in the first place, and how can we manage it?
Thank you for that question. When you're talking about stress, now in Nigeria, now I think everyone, even the layman, because it's something that is challenging and comes with a lot of symptoms. It has a lot of symptoms like feeling fear, anger, sadness, worry, numbness, loss of appetite, and all sorts. When somebody is being worked out, and there is always a reaction from your body, which will, can be out of context sometimes, because you may not be in charge of your own system at that moment. So, and it will bring about you taking negative decision and acting in a way that people around you will not be comfortable with.
Okay, all right. So, well, let's talk about it more deeper now. Concerning stress management. Mental health changes over time depending on a number of factors. And of course, one of the factors that can affect mental health is stress. Everyone experiences stress at one time or the other. But when the demands of life go beyond our ability to cope with them, our mental health can suffer. Can you talk a little bit about stress? Because there's a video we're actually streaming live on our page on Facebook at the moment. You can check as well. We're also streaming live on YouTube at I-FLIER 103.3 FM. You can go there to check that video. It's a short video that talks about, the impact of stress on ourselves. So can you share some of the impact of stress?
Okay. Stress have a way of making the victim to be irrelevant. And the whole attention will be on that stress and that person's vision, purpose, and even academics. If you are somebody that is into school and all that, will not be able to be productive. And that's why it's something that we have to deal with. A little effort has been placed on our mental health. People prefer to spend millions of naira on their clothes. You say the wristwatch you're putting on is 20 million naira. the shoe. In fact, people even take hours to prepare when they are going out, like 20, 1 hour, 2 hours to prepare, to put on shoes, to put on clothes, to make sure everything match and everything. But we neglect the aspect of our mental health. And we don't even know that our physical appearance have little effects compared to the effects of our mental health. Because there are many things that we can't even control that we don't know about. And mental health demands that you know what you are in control of and you know what you are not in control of, so that you'll not be feeling bad and feeling sad all the. So I don't know that you get my explanation. You are not in charge of everything. Like we said last week, there are many things that you are not in charge of, and you are not expected to solve it because it's not in your care. But there are things that you are in charge of, that if anything happens, the ones you can handle and you can do something about. So worrying about something that is out of your control will only give you more stress, whereas can lead to depression, suicidal thoughts, and all sorts.
Okay, all right. Well, we want to quickly go for a quick timeout now. I want to go for a commercial break, and when we're back, of course, the Avalanche continue. All right, I still have with me Olaoluwa Awolowo. Well, he's a clinical psychologist and, of course, is a counselor. So we'll talk about it more after this break. Please don't go away.
Omola Travels and Tours. Iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ti ń ṣe tó ti lé lógún ọdún táwọn èèyàn ti ṣoríire lọ́pọ̀lọpọ̀ lónírúurú ìlú bíi Canada, UK, America, Qatar àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Omola Travels and Tours Limited ẹ kú oríire. Iṣẹ́ ò dúró bí Omola Travels and Tours Limited tó ṣe gba àwọn ọ̀chàrà tó tó visa Canada, America, Australia tó fi dórí ti UK fáwọn èèyàn. Ọ̀rọ̀ pé bóyá tàbí ṣùgbọ́n yóò ṣe ò sí lọ́rọ̀ tiwọn o. Ìwọ ni kó o máa wo rẹ̀ ràn. Ẹ ní san deposit owó kẹ̀kẹ́ tí visa yóò fi jáde. Bóyá study permit, work permit, bó sì jẹ́ visit tourist visa. Ẹ kàn sí wọn ní nọ́mbà 114 Ọmọlá Plaza, Àbáyọ̀mí bus stop, Ìwó road. Ọ́fíìsì wọn wà ní Louisiana, lórílẹ̀‐èdè ilẹ̀ Amẹ́ríkà. Ẹ máa pè 0807-985-1232 tàbí 0811-986-9999. Ọmọlá Travels and Tours Limited. Try and error sí lọ́rọ̀ tiwọn o. Bàbá ẹ̀.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet.
The Avalanche.
Even the other stations are tuned in too.
All right, so you're welcome back from that commercial. Okay, so let's talk about this right about now. Okay, so I still got here on the program. Olaoluwa Awolowo is still here, clinical psychologist, and of course a counselor is here with me on the program. And we're discussing stress management. Yeah, you were saying something before we went on that break. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I was actually talking about when people are going, a certain amount of stress is actually needed to keep going in life. But when the stress is becoming overwhelming, that's when it's no longer healthy. So there are things that you are in control of, and there are things that you are not in control of. Knowing things that you are in control of and working on them, and knowing things that you are not in control of them and leaving them, is even wisdom to cope with stress. Because stress will render you useless. You won't be useful to yourself and to everyone that is around you. So it's something I want working on. Because somebody that is stressed mentally, even you won't even know when you're dressing. And it doesn't, mental health is something that if you don't take care of it now, it as a matter of time for you will just discover that you yourself are doing what you are not even pleased with.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, well, let's look at some other part of it. We've seen a lot of people who are under stress, and as soon as they get out, some people don't even want to get out of bed. They are so stressed. Their mind is so stressed. And, to talk less about it, I want you to really give us a definition in a layman's understanding for someone on the street to simply understand what stress is all about, so that they will be able to manage their stress. Because so many people are stressed, but they wouldn't agree with you that they are stressed because, of course, the symptoms are already there, but it has not gotten to it hasn't gotten worse to the extent that it can show all over their body. So they wouldn't want to agree with you that they're stressed. So still tell me, try to tell us right now, in a layman's term, what does stress mean?
Okay. Yeah, I would like to, but then I will give this brief definition. Then I'm going to, accompany it with some symptoms. Maybe by the time you notice it on yourself, you'll be able to know, okay, I think I'm being stressed out. When stress comes, let me just put it straight. It's a situation whereby, or maybe an act, whereby you yourself, you are being overworked. And your mind is no longer in tune with what you are meant to do. So at that point, you are just feeling some level of discomfort, and it's hindering you from getting your desired results. Now, I said earlier that I'm going to attack some symptoms with it.
Okay.
There are some symptoms which may be physical or emotional. Some people just feeling of fear unnecessarily, just afraid. You can just enter the room and you feel as if this thing, just fear just overwhelm you, and little things that doesn't get you afraid before start getting you afraid. There's something we also call panic attack. A place can just drop and just say, bah, 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 and for some seconds you are off. A sense of shock and unnecessary anger. There are things that doesn't get you angry before. By the time you just notice that maybe you get back home, you saw something somewhere, instead of you to pick it up and place it where it's supposed to be, you are just like, everybody is even stupid in this house. What's wrong with everyone? You are crazy. By the time you talk about it, there is somebody that say, oh, calm down. What's the problem? And you finally meet somebody that actually attends you, you will discover that you are even the one that you are not getting it right, not even people around you.
Okay, well,
sorry, and all that.
That's interesting to hear. All right, let's talk about this. How can I reduce stress as a person?
Okay, we are going to give us some DIY, which I believe when we work on it is going to be of huge to everyone. There are any ways to cope with stress. Because stress is emotional and it has to do with our brain. And most time it affects our sleep, affects our eating, our appetites and all that. So one of those things that we can do now, especially in these days whereby there are news are flying everywhere. One, you can take a break from watching, reading, or listening to news or stories, maybe social media. You can take a break until you are balanced. Don't keep consuming what is toxic to your system. You knew sometimes some people don't even know where the source of the stress. You thought it is when you are going out. Making bridges that makes you stress, that brings stress. No, sometimes you can even sleep in your room and just think about many things, and you are in your room from morning to night and you are stressed. So you can take a break off many things that you know makes you vulnerable to stress. If you know, okay, talking to social kind of people, maybe the situations they bring, even social media. Some people see many of their friends that are going higher than them, and they are being depressed as a result of it. If you know that you cannot cope with it, just excuse yourself for a while. It is good to be informed by hearing things that are very, very healthy.
So you should keep yourself away from toxic people or toxic things.
Toxic people and toxic news. You are in charge of that one. You can control what enters into your system. You may not be able to control what happens to everybody in your environment, but you can control what enters into you, because if you are not stable mentally, you can't even help somebody.
But in a situation where it has often been said that you need to be informed. That's by listening to news, by getting information about what's going on and all of that. How do you strike a balance with that?
Yeah, thank you. You see, like I said earlier, there is an amount of information that you can actually get that you know that, okay, when I get to this level, you know yourself. That's the place of self-reflection and personal reflection.
When you get to your
saturation, you know yourself that once
point.
Yes, you know a point whereby by the time you are consuming this thing, it's no longer healthy for you. There is no big deal if you excuse yourself at that point. But consuming it in the name of, oh, my friend will think I am weak and all that, you are doing yourself more harm than good. And again, every information that you are getting, to act on this, you need yourself to act on them. So if you are not in the right tone with yourself, you can't even act on any information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you done with that, so we can get to ask some other ones, because I want to open the phone lines as soon as possible for those at home listening to join the conversation by asking questions or some clarifications and all of that. I'm going to open the phone lines pretty soon. Okay, so let's talk about it. Why is it important to manage stress? Why is it so important to manage stress?
See, because if you don't manage stress, it will deny you of everything you wanted to do. You won't be able to do anything. There is no productivity for a man who cannot manage his stress. Because productivity comes from you being okay with yourself, that's intrapersonal relationship, and being okay with people around you, that's interpersonal relationship. So if the two relationship is not healthy, there is nothing you can do.
Okay. All right. Okay, Lord, let's talk about the causes of stress. What are the causes? What causes stress?
There is actually a lot of things that actually causes stress. Like sometimes when you are working overboard, you already know, okay, these particular things can make me, when you're working overboard, that's one. Sometimes rejection can bring stress, loneliness can bring form of stress, and most times trauma can also lead to stress. Maybe it's a lot of things that's happened to you and you don't have somebody to share with. Then another thing is that when you have a lot of problems in your mind, a lot of challenges in your mind, and you don't share with someone. I have someone like my client last week, and we discussed about what has happened to him for the last 30 years. And having said that, by the time he came, he was complaining of headache, chest pain, and that headache and chest pain disappear only after discussion. You can imagine. We discussed for maybe 1 or 2 hours, and the headache, I asked her after like 2 hours, I said, how far about the headache you complained about? Said it's gone. The chest pain is gone without any medication. You will realize that there are even some physical challenges you have and that resulted from your inability to keep a healthy mental health. And stress is always, because something stressful. What brings stress to somebody is not actually what brings stress to another person, because we have individual differences. We call it individuation. Some people, when you keep on telling them, oh, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that, that's why it's not always healthy for you to compete a child with another. So, compare rather a child to another. So, when you say, do this, don't do this, also person, by the time they are not working in their own pace, it's already a stress to some of them.
So, even as a child, it can be stressed.
Yes. Are you not hearing that some even young people are already having high blood pressure now, which was common among good people before now?
Well, that means we have to learn to manage our stress. Okay. All right. Let me open the phone lines right now for those at home to join the conversation. It's becoming interesting because they need to learn, they need to hear, and they need to ask some questions if need be that they want to ask or they want to join and add to point of discourse this very morning. Okay. So 091 6010 33 091 6010 33 or 0705 500 1033. Okay, so that's the line to call at the moment. Okay, so I need you to do something for me. There's a video streaming on our Facebook at the moment. You can go check it out and see what that video is all about. It's all about stress, the impact of stress on human, and check to go there and see what has happened to some of them, and maybe when you see that video, that will help you to put your health in check and put yourself in check to know what really we need to do to ensure that our stress is managed. Okay, so 091 6000 1033 091 6000 1033 or 0705 500 1033. So those are the lines to call in right now. You can do well. Of course, you can send a message. Drop a comment on Facebook after seeing that video, you can drop a comment there. I'll be here to take that comment on Facebook as well. Okay, so I still got Olaoluwa Awolowo on the program. He's a clinical psychologist and a counselor. So let's talk about other things whilst we await callers on the call this morning. Okay, so on Facebook, Tolokwa DME says, good morning, Samson. You're doing well. Thank you so much for that comment on Facebook. Okay, so let's go back. What are the stress management techniques that we could actually, the stress management techniques that we could actually employ at the moment?
Well, presently,
we could deploy.
you can still you can take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, how do you do that? You can eat healthy, exercise as often as you can. You can try and get plenty of sleep, and give yourself a break if you feel stressed out. If you are doing something and you're, I want to achieve this thing within a short moment, by the time you know that you're already stressed out, take a break. Just go and relax. And after a while, come back into it. Don't put an energy burden on yourself. When you have a lot of things to do, I'm not saying that you should not pursue great things, though. I'm not saying you should not dream big, but regardless, make sure that you don't put something too big so that you'll not die even before the dream comes true. And anything that you know you cannot cope with, look for somebody to talk to. And that's why we have professional counselors and mental health professionals. We are trained to keep your secret. In fact, it is like if you should allow the secret of any of your clients to come out, more or less that your certificate will be withdrawn, because confidentiality is one of those things that we are trained with. And they are trained to listen to you without judging you.
Well, that's a lot to really look out for, because a lot of people will tell you that they can't confide in some people. And what about the fact that, some people will tell you, I cannot afford a counselor because I'm going to be charged and I don't have the money. What about that?
Yes, that's the reason why we are doing all these mobile counseling for people that cannot afford it of late. We are trying to reach out to those people that cannot. Though we are in our offices, we know we charge, but for those that needs to talk to somebody and they cannot afford it, we render that. In fact, this money I've done that for someone, so we can give a number, a contact to them. Even if they need somebody to talk to them, once they tell us where they are and how we can reach out to them, we'll surely do, because we want them to be safe and fine. So we do that on our own part as a way of giving back to the society.
Oh, wow, that's really great to hear that you are doing a great job by doing that at the moment. Yes, we talked about the stress. What about exercise? Some people don't like to exercise. Some people will tell you that, where's the time to even exercise? I have to go out very early in the morning and come back so late at night. The little time I have, I just want to sleep and all of that. How can people manage their time? Because it's also part of it. I mean, how do you manage your time to exercise, to eat well, and to also work?
Well, everything is on priority. If you actually prioritize your health, you will create time for it to be exercised. I know that you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So so it's about priority. You need to prioritize what your mental health, because even if you notice this, if you take care of your mental health, you will be 2 times productive than when you don't take care of it, or even many more times productive. So if you know that you have a routine that is maybe very, very, doesn't allow you to get many things to be done, then all you can do for yourself is that there is always time for that you are free. Engage yourself in some meaningful conversation, with your own self. Go out go to maybe seaside, go and see nature. Don't just go office, whatever every day alone. It can even lead to monotonous of work. Go to places where you can sit in, feed your eyes, feed your spirit, relax your mind, and just take yourself off all these unnecessary challenges once in a while. And you will notice that you enjoy yourself more. If you do that for 2-3 weeks, you will see how fresh you become. You will not discover that being fresh and glowing is not a matter of food alone.
Okay, well, that's really good to hear. And looking at some of the things that we need to really look out for. I'm getting to see some people who are stressed out but do not know. You were talking about some of the symptoms at the time. I want you to re-emphasize the symptoms to look out for when you're feeling stressed already.
I said earlier, and I'm going to say again, feeling of fear. Even you can be afraid of even your own children. You can be afraid of your husband. You can be afraid of your wife. You can just come. You are unnecessarily you'll be afraid of your boss. Normally, if somebody will come to you and you are not prepared, just say, "You're welcome. I don't know you are coming." But some people, they would have been gone some seconds when they see you. Shock, panic attack, anger. You know, you just see everything. You transfer that to everything. You realize that the thing doesn't actually want it. It doesn't want the anger the way you are. You're just finding a way of, just easing yourself of the burden that is in your mind. It's not actually what is happening around. Numbness. Some people can be numb for a moment. It will be as if they pass away. Also frustration. I was in a bus coming from I think Ojuelegba one day going to K2, and there was a woman sitting in front of me. I was sitting at the back, like 4 of us at the back. Then the woman was sitting in front of us. All of a sudden, this woman turned back and said, "We are pitching her with a pen," and there was nobody doing that. And you won't believe, a guy just laughed and said, "Ma, if you are frustrated, then every one of us are. You better face front now." And, you could imagine. It's frustration.
So you could actually feel something that is not there when you're overstressed.
Yes.
Oh, that's
yes.
So we need to look out for a lot of things then when we are stressed. You need to check your sleep, you need to check your diet, you need to check your the way you used to do before it leads to something else. But then for some people are already stressed out, and that's what could stress lead to at the end of the day?
I don't get that question.
What could stress lead to at the end of the day if not managed?
If stress is not managed, it can lead to death.
Really?
Like it can, yes, it's as worse as that. It can bring about depression, suicidal thoughts, insecurity, many personality disorder can result from it. Schizophrenia, and all. In fact, some people even resort to alcohol, drug, and all that, which are not healthy.
Yeah. Speaking of alcohol, you said now. I want us to just quickly touch on it before we leave, because we have less than 4 or 5 minutes to leave the studio. But then I want us to talk about that alcohol. A lot of people see alcohol as a way of, taking succor, as a way of, seeing that, okay, I want to ease my stress, so I just need to take some alcohol, forget my sorrow, forget my, everything I'm thinking about and all of that. Now, what is the impact of alcohol when one is stressed?
Well, see, when it comes to stress, alcohol is never a solution to stress. It only helps you to buy time, and it's even for a short time. So there's no relationship between stress and getting and alcohol, for real. It only helps you to buy time, like, okay, for a moment you are out, and what alcohol will lead to or brings to you is that at a point you could be addicted to it, and it will also help you to be taking away your money, and it will reduce your responsibility. You will become irresponsible over time, because at the moment when you are drunk, you will be useless and you will not be useful to people around you. So alcohol, when you start taking alcohol for the first time, at the point you have some level of pleasure you derive from it. When you want to get that level of pleasure again the next time, you will require a higher volume or a higher amount of alcohol to get that same pleasure, same level of pleasure, which we call tolerance. And before you know it, you started with just, I only take 1 bottle. After 2, 3, 4 months, you're already taking 4, you're already trying all sorts, tobacco and all that. Before you know it, you now have addiction, drug and substance addiction to deal with, apart from stress now, making 2.
Well, that's really a very bad one. And yeah, what do you want to say? Because as we go right now, your pattern short. Even as we go right now, what is your pattern short? What would you advise people, especially young people right now, how to manage their stress? With the fact that we know that there are a lot of people who are stressed. There are young people who are managing even sugar levels. Some people are managing, lots of, disease, sicknesses, and all of that. How do you, advise them? What would be your advice?
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this that more than before. I think we should prioritize ourselves. It's not about being selfish, but we should prioritize ourselves the more, because whatever, if something actually happens to you, you will discover that every other thing that you are pursuing will be useless. So please and please, what I want to advise every young person outside there to do is that take care of your mental health as much as you can, because a dead man psychologically is automatically a dead man physically.
Okay. All right. So what about older people, adults? You've just spoken to the young people. Let's talk about the adults because the one.
Yeah, for those of us that are adults, we should try all we could not to put unnecessary burden on ourselves too, because I know responsibility can be very overwhelming. We have a lot of things to do, and what even makes us an adult is that we are in charge, which is very, very good. But you are not in charge of everything. So do your own best and leave the rest. We need you. We want you to be fine. We want you to be good. Even we, your children, also everyone around you, they need you. If anything happens to you, it will not only happen to only you, it will affect a lot of people around you. So please take it easy on yourself and be fine. Make sure you are staying healthy.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Olaolu Wolowo, for featuring on the Avalanche once again. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And thank you. And also, thank you for the good work you're doing for the young people. I mean, going out there to counsel them, to tell them about their health, mental health, and all of that for them to be the best that they can be in their future. We appreciate you. Thank
It's
you.
our own little way of contributing, sir. It's our own little way of contributing, and we are being grateful to everyone that is supporting, including you, sir, for all you have been doing for us so far, to reach out to more of them. We are glad, and we are hoping to do more this season.
All right. Thank you so much for featuring once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
All right. Okay, so, well, that's Laolua Awolowo. Well, he is a clinical psychologist and, of course, is also a counselor. All right, speaking to us on stress management. I hope you've learned one or two things from the discourse this very morning. Next week is another time when we'll come your way again with another exciting edition of the Avalanche. Many thanks to you for being part of the program, and of course I appreciate everyone that took part of this. Okay, so, well, Samuel Adetayo was at the AMS, of course, pressing the right buttons as regards putting us on Facebook, live streaming on Facebook and on YouTube. Appreciate it. And of course the young man also here doing his work. I want to get your name again. Okay, Rokib is also here, all right, doing a great job, pressing the right button. Thank you so much, every one of you that have been part of the show and listening. Okay, so, well, up next is L'Oreal Dawn with Ademola Olamileko, the sports ambassador, will be here to thrill you with another exciting, okay, it's sports, giving you all those sports stories and news you want to know about. Keep it locked with I-FLIER 103.3 FM, the perfect choice station for the high flyers. Until next week again, my name is Samson Omotosho, saying please stay safe and have yourself a good day.